Hey guys, this is Dave, finally back with another video, and we're going to try to keep these things short and concise this time. We're going to go over 3 reasons why I think the Argus C3 is relevant in today's world. Roll the intro. Alright, reason number 1 why the Argus C3 is a relevant camera in today's world in 2019, and it's because it makes you slow down, okay? This camera is more manual than a manual camera. It is one of the most manual cameras ever made. It requires you to cock the shutter in between every shot, so you manually got to wind up that spring. It only has a shutter speed up to a 300th of a second, so you really got to think about and pay attention to your lighting conditions and what you're shooting to get a good exposure. It's rangefinder focused, so you got to, it's decoupled rangefinder focus. So you got 2 steps. You focus with a rangefinder, and then you got to move up to another viewfinder to actually frame the shot. You focus on one eyepiece, and then you move to a different eyepiece to frame the shot. Again, more manual than manual. This is nuts. And then after you take the picture, you actually got to pull this lever to get the film to advance to the next frame. So it requires your intervention in the shutter, it requires your intervention in rewinding the film, and it requires 2 steps to even take the picture. More manual than manual. Reason number 2 why this camera is relevant in today's world, and that is that it's a super vintage look. Vintage is a thing today. People like old stuff. They like stuff that's classic. You got a camera that's 60, 70 years old and it's still functioning and doing things today that the electronical things of today and 20 years ago aren't going to be doing that in 60 or 70 years. Electronics fail, batteries fail, it's not going to happen. All mechanical, this is still going to keep working. It's a conversation piece. People are not going to be offended by an old vintage looking camera. They're going to let you take their pictures, even perfect strangers. So they're not going to be put off by this. They're going to be wondering. It's going to create a sense of wonder in those people. They're not going to be offended. They're not going to be offensive by you taking photos with this camera. They're going to be intrigued and interested in what's going on, and probably even ask you questions about it, or just simply dismiss you as like, what in the world's that guy doing? That thing can be taking pictures, right? All right, reason number 3 why you should use the Argus C3 standard in today's world and why it's relevant today, and that's a sense of accomplishment. This camera is, like I said, more manual than manual. It takes a lot of work. You got to cock the shutter. You got to pay attention to the shutter speed. You may even have to be picky and choosy about the lighting conditions you shoot in order to get a good exposure. You got to use 2 pieces to focus one, then you got to frame in the other one. You got to push a button to get the film to go. There's a lot of things you got to be thinking about. So at the end of the day, when you get good pictures out of this thing, especially if you develop your own film, you know that you've accomplished something. So it's a wonderful sense of accomplishment again. So there's my 3 reasons. Slow down. It's a vintage conversation piece, and there's a great sense of accomplishment from shooting with something this cool. You want to look cool? Get yourself an Argus C3. Peace out, guys.